The aliens warned us to surrender, but we tried peace, and now it's time to show the universe humanity's true power. Watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more epic stories. Alien ships suddenly appeared in the sky, enormous and unlike anything humans had ever seen. Their silhouettes blocked out the sun in some places, casting giant shadows over cities and forests alike. People all over the world stopped what they were doing to look up in awe and fear. Children pointed at the sky, adults dropped their work, and news channels scrambled to broadcast live coverage of the approaching visitors. The ships moved silently, their surfaces smooth and metallic, reflecting the sunlight in strange, shimmering patterns. Scientists and engineers tried to analyze them immediately, but nothing in human knowledge seemed to match their technology. Governments worldwide went into high alert. Military commanders held urgent meetings, discussing strategies that might protect their nations. Fighter jets scrambled to the skies, satellites adjusted their orbits, and radar systems blinked rapidly with the presence of these unknown objects. Despite all the defensive preparations, there was a sense of helplessness, because no one truly knew what these beings wanted. Some feared an invasion, others hoped for peaceful contact, and many prayed that humanity would survive the encounter. Initial attempts at communication began almost immediately. Earth's top linguists, scientists, and diplomats worked together to send peaceful messages. Using every language, every symbol, and even mathematical formulas, humans tried to reach out and show that they meant no harm. Satellites beamed messages toward the alien vessels, carrying greetings, Earth's history, and promises of cooperation. But the ships did not respond in ways humans could understand. Their silence was unsettling, and it made the world realize that these beings were not here for ordinary reasons. As the hours passed, the presence of the ships caused chaos and confusion. Air traffic was halted, shipping routes were disrupted, and stock markets across the globe fell sharply. People filled the streets, some panicking, others simply staring upward in disbelief. Social media exploded with photos, videos, and theories, ranging from hopeful to terrifying. Everyone felt that the world had entered a new era, one that could change humanity forever. Scientists gathered on live broadcasts to explain the possibilities. Some said the ships could be explorers, visiting a distant planet out of curiosity. Others warned they might be scouts for a larger invasion, preparing the way for something far worse. Every theory seemed plausible and terrifying, fueling a mix of fear and excitement across the planet. Humanity was united in one emotion, uncertainty, and the need to prepare for anything. Despite the fear, there were moments of awe and wonder. People marveled at the sheer size and precision of the alien vessels. Some likened them to floating cities or massive machines that seemed alive. Children asked questions their parents could not answer. Teachers tried to explain the situation in schools, and artists began creating images and stories inspired by the mysterious visitors. Humanity had never faced anything so unfamiliar, and it sparked both imagination and dread in equal measure. As night fell, the ships hovered quietly, their lights casting strange colors across the clouds. People watched from windows, rooftops, and open fields, feeling a mixture of fear, hope, and amazement. News anchors reported continuously, but no one could predict what would happen next. Some nations began preparing for the worst, fortifying military bases and stockpiling resources. Others focused on continuing peaceful communication, hoping the visitors could be reasoned with. Humanity had tried to imagine first contact for decades in stories and films, but now it was real, and the world was holding its breath. In every city, town, and village, humans felt the same tension. The alien presence was unlike anything they had experienced, a silent reminder that the universe was vast, powerful, and indifferent. Yet, even in fear, there was determination. Because humanity had survived countless crises before, and now, faced with a truly unknown force, people began to realize they might need to show the aliens not just their intelligence, but their resilience and unity. The world waited, tense and watchful, as the alien ships remained in orbit, silent, immense, and full of unknown intentions. Humanity's story was about to change forever. The aliens finally made their intentions clear with a broadcast that spread across every screen on Earth. It was not a greeting or a request for dialogue, but a cold, sharp warning. Humanity must surrender its technology, its weapons, and its resources. The message said, or face total destruction. Panic spread like wildfire across cities and countries. People could not believe what they were seeing, some shaking in fear, others staring at the screens in disbelief. Governments held emergency meetings, trying to figure out how to respond to such a bold and terrifying demand. World leaders debated their options. Some argued for immediate compliance, hoping to save lives by giving the aliens what they wanted. Others refused to bow to threats, insisting that humanity's survival depended on standing united. Preparing for war became a priority, despite the overwhelming uncertainty about what the aliens were capable of. Military bases increased their activity, troops were mobilized, and defensive systems were put on high alert. Satellites and early warning systems scanned for more alien movements, ready for anything. People all over the world reacted in different ways. Some tried to flee cities, seeking safety in remote areas, while others stayed close to their homes, believing they must face the threat together. Families gathered to discuss what they should do, and communities organized emergency plans. There was fear, yes, but also a sense of determination, because humans had survived disasters before, and many believed they could survive this too. Scientists worked day and night, analyzing the alien transmission, trying to understand the technology behind it and whether there might be a way to communicate more effectively. Linguists and cryptographers attempted to decode hidden messages. Searching for any sign that the aliens might be reasoned with, some suggested that the warning was just a test, a way to measure humanity's response. Others feared it was the first step in an invasion, and that Earth might not survive the next moves. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens watched as their world changed in hours. Schools closed, markets were disrupted, and social media exploded with speculation and panic. Yet amidst the fear, stories of courage and quick thinking emerged. People helped neighbors evacuate, doctors and nurses prepared for emergencies, and volunteers worked to keep communities organized. Humanity showed that even in the face of a terrifying threat, cooperation and bravery could shine through. As the hours passed, the alien warning continued to play in every corner of the planet. Its message was simple, direct, and terrifying. Do not resist, or you will be destroyed. This made some humans angry, fueling resentment and defiance. Others felt hopeless, believing resistance was impossible. But in both fear and anger, a new sense of unity began to form. Humans realized that they could not face this threat divided. They had to act together, combining resources, intelligence, and courage to survive. Diplomats tried one last time to reach out, sending messages emphasizing humanity's desire for peace. They reminded the aliens of human achievements, art, science, and culture, hoping to appeal to any sense of reason or curiosity. But the aliens ignored these messages, showing that they did not see humans as equals or as beings worthy of negotiation. The dismissal shocked many leaders, who had hoped that intelligence and diplomacy might save the planet without bloodshed. As night fell over the world, fear and anticipation gripped humanity. Military commanders monitored every move of the alien ships, preparing for the worst. Scientists ran simulations, imagining possible scenarios and strategies. Families huddled together, wondering if Earth's next days would be its last. And yet, even in the shadow of such a powerful threat, there were signs of hope, because humans were beginning to understand the stakes, and their minds were already working on ways to fight back. The warning had been received loud and clear. It was not just a message, it was a test of humanity's will and resilience. Every person felt it, from city streets to remote villages. The aliens believed humanity would bend or break, but they had underestimated one thing. Humans had survived countless trials and disasters. They were resourceful, adaptable, and determined, and the world was slowly beginning to realize that peace might be gone. But the fight for survival and for showing humanity's true strength was only just beginning. Delegates from Earth prepared to meet the aliens in orbit, traveling aboard specially designed spacecraft that could approach the massive vessels safely. Tension ran high as the representatives, scientists, and diplomats approached the alien fleet. Every human on board knew the stakes, that this meeting could decide the fate of the entire planet. Hearts raced and minds worked frantically, trying to anticipate what the aliens might do or say. The ships loomed closer, their metallic surfaces reflecting sunlight in strange, dazzling patterns, creating an almost hypnotic effect. Inside the meeting chamber, the aliens made their presence known. They were unlike anything humans had ever imagined, towering figures with shapes and forms that defied conventional biology. Their movements were precise and deliberate, and their eyes, or what appeared to be eyes, seemed to look directly into the minds of the humans. The delegates felt a shiver run down their spines, but they remembered their mission: to show humanity's peaceful intentions and intelligence, and to try to convince the aliens that surrender was unnecessary. The humans presented every argument they could think of, showing images of Earth's achievements, from towering cities and advanced technology to music, art, and literature that celebrated creativity and life. They spoke of peace treaties, humanitarian missions, and Earth's attempts to solve conflicts without violence. The aliens watched silently, their expressions unreadable, and when the humans finished, a tense silence filled the chamber. It was clear that the aliens did not view these gestures with respect or admiration. Instead of responding with words, the aliens displayed a holographic projection of human cities being destroyed, military bases obliterated, and satellites torn from orbit. It was a clear message: humanity's attempts at diplomacy were meaningless. The humans realized that the aliens did not value logic, culture, or peaceful intentions, but only strength, dominance, and control. Anger and fear surged through the delegates, but they remained composed, knowing that panic would only worsen their situation. Back on Earth, millions watched the meeting unfold through live transmissions. The scenes of human delegates standing before towering alien beings sparked outrage, fear, and determination simultaneously. Citizens everywhere felt a mix of emotions, but the most powerful was unity. People began to realize that the aliens' contempt could either destroy them or inspire humans to stand together and fight. Scientists and military leaders on Earth discussed strategies for responding, analyzing every detail from the live footage. The need for a global, coordinated defense became undeniable. The delegates returned to their ship after the meeting, exhausted but resolute. They had witnessed the aliens' disdain firsthand, and it fueled a new determination to protect Earth. No longer was diplomacy the main hope. Now humanity understood that they had to be ready for anything. The aliens had underestimated one key thing: humans were not a species that surrendered easily. The meeting had failed to achieve peace, but it had awakened a collective awareness across the planet that humanity's survival depended on unity, courage, and ingenuity. Communications with Earth were filled with intense discussions and debates. Leaders weighed every option, from negotiating further to preparing for war. But as more details from the meeting emerged, it became clear that the aliens would never accept humanity's terms. Every day without action could put the planet at greater risk. Yet, even in this dire situation, humans began to see their own strength. They had created civilizations, technology, and strategies that the aliens had ignored at their peril. The failed diplomacy also inspired ordinary people. Teachers explained the importance of courage and unity to their students. Communities organized preparedness drills. Engineers and inventors worked on innovative solutions. Even in fear, creativity and hope persisted. Humanity was learning that survival required more than just strength. It required collaboration, intelligence, and relentless determination. As night fell across the world, humans everywhere looked at the sky, remembering the chilling projection of destruction shown by the aliens. Yet, they did not feel defeated. Instead, they felt a spark of resolve. The meeting had failed, but it had also revealed a truth. The aliens did not respect weakness, and if humanity wanted to survive, they had to prove that their strength, resilience, and unity were forces the universe could not ignore. Across the globe, hearts beat with fear, but also with determination. Because humanity had tried peace, and now it was time to prepare to show what humans were truly capable of. The aliens struck first, launching a sudden attack on a major military base to test Earth's defenses. Explosions ripped through the facility, sending smoke and fire into the sky. People across the nearby city panicked, running to safety, sirens blaring as emergency services rushed to help. The world watched in horror as news channels broadcast live footage of the destruction. The alien ships moved with precision and power, their weapons far beyond anything humans had experienced. Yet, Even in the face of such devastation, humanity responded quickly. Earth's military forces activated every defense system available. Fighter jets raced into the sky, guided missiles launched automatically, and energy shields protected key structures. Despite the fear, soldiers, engineers, and scientists worked together seamlessly. Using technology that had been developed over decades, they adapted it in hours to respond to the alien threat. To the aliens' surprise, humans did not crumble. Instead, they fought back with ingenuity and determination. Their countermeasures disrupted the aliens' assault, forcing some ships to retreat temporarily. News of the counterattack spread rapidly, inspiring people everywhere. Civilians who had felt powerless now realized that humanity could resist. Streets filled with cheering crowds as soldiers returned safely. Military commanders praised the quick thinking of their teams, and scientists analyzed every move to improve Earth's defenses. Even ordinary people contributed, donating resources, assisting in logistics, and keeping communication networks running smoothly. Humanity's response was chaotic, yet effective, showing the aliens that humans were not easy to defeat. The first strike also revealed weaknesses in the alien technology. Humans noticed patterns in the ship's movements, timing, and weapon systems. Engineers quickly developed strategies to exploit these flaws. Simulations and drills were run non-stop, preparing for future confrontations. Scientists collaborated with the military, developing new technologies that combined human creativity with existing defense systems. For the first time, humans saw a chance not just to survive, but to challenge the invaders. Despite the adrenaline and relief from surviving the attack, fear lingered. Cities near the strike zone remained on high alert, and people were warned that the aliens might return with even more force. Parents held their children close, schools implemented emergency drills, and local governments coordinated evacuation plans. Humanity was learning quickly that survival required constant vigilance and teamwork. While the aliens expected humans to be weak and disorganized, they encountered a species that adapted faster than anticipated. The failed attempt by the aliens also sparked global unity. Countries that had long been at odds put aside differences to share intelligence, technology, and resources. Communication networks connected every continent, allowing scientists, military leaders, and strategists to coordinate on a global scale. The world realized that Earth's strength lay not only in its weapons, but in its people, in their courage, resourcefulness, and determination to protect their planet. For the first time in history, humans felt a true collective power, rising from fear to action. Civilians contributed in ways both small and heroic. Volunteers helped maintain emergency shelters, engineers and inventors improvised new defenses from everyday materials, and ordinary people reported alien movements to authorities. Stories of bravery and quick thinking spread across social media, inspiring millions. Humanity had discovered that survival depended on everyone, not just armies or governments, and that even small actions could make a huge difference in the fight against the aliens. As the night progressed, humans reflected on the battle, realizing how close they had come to devastation. Yet, there was pride and hope alongside the fear. Humanity had survived the first strike, and in doing so, sent a powerful message to the aliens. Earth was not defenseless. Humans were not weak, and they would not surrender easily. Military analysts and strategists now worked day and night, preparing for future attacks, refining strategies, and improving defenses, knowing that this was only the beginning of a long struggle. Even children and ordinary citizens felt the weight of the moment. Yet, they also felt the stirrings of courage. People spoke of heroes and teamwork, of humans standing together against impossible odds. The first strike had shown that while the aliens were powerful, humans were unpredictable, creative, and united in ways the invaders had not expected. This battle had been terrifying, but it had also awakened something fundamental about humanity: the ability to fight back, adapt, and survive, no matter the odds. By the end of the day, the skies were quiet again, but tension remained. Scientists continued to study alien technology, the military remained on full alert, and citizens kept watch for signs of another attack. Humanity had faced the first test, survived, and learned that courage, ingenuity, and unity could match even the most advanced enemy. The world understood that the aliens had underestimated humans, and this realization sparked a new determination, a readiness to protect their home, and a growing belief that humanity could show the universe its true power. Humanity began to unite like never before. Leaders from every nation put aside old conflicts and rivalries, working together to share technology, resources, and knowledge. Scientists collaborated with engineers and military strategists, designing weapons and defenses that could match the alien threat. Citizens joined in too, offering their skills, time, and courage. Every person realized that survival depended on the collective effort of all. The world had become a single, determined force, focused on one goal: protecting Earth. Cities and towns organized volunteer groups. People helped in hospitals, prepared shelters, and maintained communication networks. Engineers and inventors worked around the clock, creating new systems to detect and counter alien movements. Military forces combined their resources, sharing intelligence and coordinating attacks. Air forces, navies, and ground troops trained together, practicing maneuvers that were impossible before. Every country contributed in its own way, creating a network of defense unlike anything in human history. Innovation flourished as scientists and engineers pushed boundaries. They modified existing technology and invented new tools specifically to fight the aliens. Drones, energy shields, and advanced missiles were developed in record time. Teams analyzed alien behavior, weapons, and strategies, learning from every encounter and failure. Humanity's creativity became a weapon just as powerful as guns or ships. The collaboration between nations and experts proved that humans could think and adapt faster than the aliens expected. Ordinary citizens played crucial roles, gathering information, building equipment, and keeping morale high. Communities organized drills to prepare for potential attacks. Schools taught children how to stay safe, and families planned escape routes and safe zones. People realized that every small contribution mattered. Whether delivering supplies, monitoring skies, or helping neighbors, each effort strengthened the planet's defense and showed that humans were willing to stand together. Global communication networks became vital. Scientists, leaders, and strategists shared discoveries and strategies instantly. Data flowed between continents, allowing humans to respond quickly to any alien action. Cities once isolated now operated as part of a planetary defense system. Coordinated responses became the norm, showing the aliens that humanity was no longer divided or predictable. The world's unity became its greatest strength, more powerful than any weapon. Humanity's morale grew with each successful test and strategy. People who once felt powerless now saw that their actions could make a difference. Heroes emerged everywhere, from soldiers and scientists to ordinary citizens performing brave acts in small ways. Their stories inspired others, creating a wave of courage and determination that spread across the planet. Fear remained, but it was tempered by confidence in humanity's ingenuity and resilience. As preparations continued, humans realized that their strength was not just in technology or weapons, but in their ability to think creatively and adapt quickly. The aliens had underestimated this, expecting humans to be weak, chaotic, and disorganized. But humans had proven that they could act as one, learning from mistakes and turning them into new strategies. Each new invention, each coordinated defense, and each successful test sent a clear message to the aliens. Humanity would not surrender. The uniting of nations and people also had a psychological effect. Communities felt stronger, governments became more responsive, and scientists more determined. People realized that they were part of something greater than themselves, that survival depended not on fear, but on courage, intelligence, and cooperation. Even in cities under threat, life continued in small ways. People helped each other, shared resources, and maintained hope. Humanity's resilience became a visible force, one the aliens could not ignore. Families, friends, and strangers bonded over the shared struggle. Stories of teamwork and bravery spread, motivating others to contribute. Children learned the importance of resilience and unity, while adults discovered new ways to use their skills in the defense of the planet. Every effort, no matter how small, was part of the larger plan, building confidence and determination across the globe. Humanity was becoming stronger, not just in weapons, but in spirit. The aliens began to notice the change. Their previous assumption that humans would be easy to intimidate proved wrong. Every failed strike against Earth revealed not weakness, but cleverness and adaptation. Humans were unpredictable and united. The world's combined efforts created a formidable defense, capable of countering even advanced alien technology. Earth was no longer a collection of divided nations, but a single, determined force ready to protect its home. By the end of this period, humanity had transformed. Individuals, communities, and nations were united with one purpose. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders worked together seamlessly, and ordinary people played essential roles. Courage, innovation, and cooperation became humanity's greatest weapons. The planet was prepared not just to survive, but to fight back, showing the aliens that humanity's strength was more than technology or numbers. It was their unity, their creativity, and their will to protect everything they loved. A critical battle unfolded in orbit as human forces launched a daring maneuver against the alien fleet. Pilots, engineers, and strategists had spent countless hours planning this moment. Every ship and weapon was carefully positioned to exploit the weaknesses discovered in previous encounters. The alien vessels moved with confidence, expecting humans to respond chaotically, but instead they faced a coordinated, intelligent strategy. Humans had learned from every strike and failure, turning fear into preparation, courage into action. Fighter jets weaved through the alien formations, dodging energy blasts and deploying countermeasures that confused the invaders. Satellites and orbital weapons targeted critical systems on the alien ships, disrupting their coordination and slowing their attacks. Engineers on Earth guided pilots remotely, providing real-time calculations to optimize maneuvers. Every move showed human creativity and adaptability, something the aliens had not anticipated. The battle became a showcase of human ingenuity under pressure, with each successful action boosting morale across the planet. On Earth, millions watched the battle live. Fear and tension gripped every city, but hope began to shine as humans saw their forces holding their ground. Ordinary citizens tracked updates, coordinated aid, and cheered the pilots and crews risking everything. Schools and communities held moments of silence for those in danger, while simultaneously planning how they could contribute to the defense effort. Humanity realized that survival required everyone, not just soldiers, working together as one. The aliens, taken by surprise, began to falter. Their systems were not built for such unpredictable tactics. Their weapons misfired, communication lines were disrupted, and some ships collided due to human manipulation of their formation. Humanity exploited every advantage, using technology, intuition, and creative thinking to outmaneuver a species far superior in raw power. Every small victory in the battle was celebrated, reinforcing the idea that humans were resourceful, adaptable, and far from defenseless. As the battle raged, human pilots performed maneuvers that combined skill, bravery, and improvisation. Sometimes they had to think and act in seconds, making split-second decisions that saved entire units. Engineers on Earth guided them with calculated adjustments, ensuring that every strike counted. The aliens had underestimated humans' ability to innovate under pressure, and this became the turning point, showing that raw power alone could not dominate an intelligent, determined species. Satellites and drones played a crucial role, sending data back to Earth that helped refine attacks and improve defense strategies. Scientists analyzed alien behavior in real time, predicting movements and weaknesses. Every piece of information was used to counter the invaders. Humanity's ability to learn and adapt faster than expected became a major advantage. The aliens were forced to retreat from some areas of orbit, confused and shaken by humanity's unexpected tactics. On the ground, civilians felt a mixture of fear and pride. Watching their planet's defenders fight back inspired courage and hope. Communities organized support systems for families of soldiers and pilots. Volunteers assisted in emergency shelters and logistics. Schools ran drills to teach children how to stay safe. Everyone contributed in some way, reinforcing that humanity's strength was not just in technology, but in unity and collective action. The battle also demonstrated the importance of planning, strategy, and communication. Teams on Earth coordinated with pilots, ships, and satellites, sharing intelligence across borders and disciplines. Every successful strike relied on collaboration between engineers, scientists, military personnel, and civilians. Humans had transformed fear into a weapon, turning desperation into focused, intelligent action. The aliens realized that underestimating humans had been a grave mistake. As the fight continued, humans captured the attention of the aliens not through sheer force, but through creativity and unpredictability. Every unexpected maneuver, every clever counterattack proved that humans were a species that could think, adapt, and learn faster than the alien invaders expected. Victory was not complete yet, but momentum had shifted. Humanity had proven that survival depended on courage, intelligence, and unity, not just numbers or technology. By the end of the battle, the alien fleet suffered significant losses. Some ships were destroyed, others severely damaged, and their command structure was disrupted. Humans celebrated their success cautiously, knowing that the aliens might return, but also recognizing that Earth had shown remarkable strength. Humanity had learned to fight together, combining technology, strategy, and bravery in ways that could overcome even the most advanced enemy. The turning point had arrived, and the aliens were now aware that humans were a force to be reckoned with. Humanity had faced its first true test in orbit and survived. Their actions proved that they were unpredictable, united, and capable of innovation under extreme pressure. The aliens had underestimated human ingenuity, and the world realized that survival required courage, creativity, and relentless determination. Humanity had not just defended the planet. They had shown that when pushed, humans could become something far greater than their enemies imagined. The battle was a warning and a promise. Earth would not be conquered easily, and humans would fight with everything they had. Humans decided it was time to send a bold message directly to the alien command. The world's leaders, scientists, and military strategists collaborated on a transmission that would leave no doubt about Earth's determination. Images and videos of human defenses, advanced technology, and coordinated military operations were compiled. Alongside them were footage of volunteers, communities, and everyday citizens contributing to the planet's survival. The message was clear. Peace had been offered, but humanity was ready to unleash its full power if provoked. The transmission began with a display of Earth's combined military might. Fighter jets flew in perfect formations, satellites orbited strategically, and missile systems were shown prepared for action. Naval fleets moved in coordinated patterns, and ground forces demonstrated readiness to defend every inch of the planet. Scientists and engineers highlighted human ingenuity, showcasing technology designed to counter alien attacks. Every frame emphasized that humans were organized, united, and capable of extraordinary feats. The aliens watched the display in silence, but the impact was undeniable. Next, the transmission showed civilians and communities at work. Hospitals treating the injured, volunteers distributing supplies, and engineers building new defensive tools. Children were seen learning, playing, and contributing, reminding the aliens that humans valued life and creativity as much as survival. Ordinary people performing heroic acts were highlighted to show that every human was part of a united effort. Humanity was more than armies and weapons. It was a species that could innovate, adapt, and fight together. The aliens had underestimated this collective strength, and now they were being shown it directly. The message also included images from previous encounters and battles, displaying humans surviving attacks, countering alien technology, and outmaneuvering superior forces. Each event was presented not as luck, but as proof of human intelligence, creativity, and resilience. Engineers and scientists explained innovations and improvisations that had turned disadvantages into advantages. The aliens had believed that humans could be intimidated by force, but the transmission proved that humans learned quickly, adapted, and became more dangerous with every attack. Words accompanied the visuals, carefully chosen to convey the resolve of every nation and individual. The humans explained that they had tried peace, that they had sent envoys, and that they had complied with every reasonable request. But now, the time for warnings was over. If the aliens continued to threaten Earth, humans would respond with full strength. The tone was firm, calm, and deliberate. Not arrogance, but confidence, showing that humanity was capable of decisive action without hesitation. The aliens' response to the transmission was noticeable. Their fleet movements slowed, confusion spread among their ships, and some began to retreat from areas of orbit. Humanity's message had clearly unsettled them. It was the first time the aliens had faced an enemy that did not panic or submit. The broadcast demonstrated that Earth was no longer a passive planet, but one capable of organized resistance, strategic planning, and adaptive warfare. Humans had turned fear into a weapon, sending a warning that was impossible to ignore. On Earth, the transmission had a similar effect. Citizens watched with awe and pride, knowing that their planet had spoken directly to a species far superior in raw power. Communities celebrated the courage and ingenuity of their people. Families and friends discussed the significance of the message. Realizing that humanity had taken control of its own fate, people felt empowered, seeing that their contributions, big or small, were part of a greater defense. The unity displayed on screens across the world reinforced the idea that humans were a force to be reckoned with. The transmission also served as a lesson to humans themselves, showing that preparation, collaboration, and courage could overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. Scientists, engineers, and strategists saw the value of their work in real time. Military personnel felt the weight and responsibility of defending a united planet. Civilians realized that their actions mattered in the grand scheme. The broadcast was not just a warning to the aliens, but a statement of identity, showing that humans were intelligent, resilient, and capable of remarkable feats when united. By the end of the transmission, it was clear that humanity had changed. The aliens no longer saw Earth as a weak or divided planet, but as a species that could think, adapt, and fight as one. Every person on the planet felt a sense of accomplishment and purpose, knowing that their planet had spoken directly to an alien force and made its intentions unmistakable. Humanity had proven that it valued peace, but it also valued survival and would defend itself at all costs. The message had been sent, and the universe now knew that humans were not to be underestimated. The aliens retreated slightly, hesitant and cautious. Humanity's warning had worked, but it was only a first step. The planet remained alert, knowing the conflict was far from over. Yet confidence grew everywhere. From city streets to remote villages, people knew that Earth had shown its strength, unity, and resolve. Humanity had learned that intelligence, courage, and collaboration could rival even the most advanced alien technology. And the world was ready to continue proving that survival required not just power, but the determination to defend what mattered most. The aliens slowly retreated, their massive ships pulling back into the dark reaches of space. Humanity watched in awe and relief as the threat temporarily diminished. Streets filled with cheers, people hugging, and spontaneous celebrations breaking out across cities and towns. Yet the victory was cautious, tempered with the knowledge that this was only a pause, not the end. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders analyzed every detail of the encounters. Learning from both successes and mistakes, humanity had survived the worst, but the lessons were just beginning. Earth began to rebuild, stronger and more united than ever. Communities repaired damage caused by the earlier attacks. Rebuilding was not just physical, but emotional and psychological. People found renewed hope in the strength and unity that had saved their planet. Governments and organizations worked together in ways never seen before, sharing technology, intelligence, and resources to prepare for any future threats. Humanity realized that cooperation was its greatest weapon, and division could be deadly. The lessons learned from the conflict transformed every aspect of life. Scientists pushed technology further, developing new defense systems, energy sources, and space exploration programs. Engineers worked on building spacecraft capable of faster response and better protection. Military forces adopted advanced strategies, combining global coordination with human ingenuity and adaptability. Civilians continued to play an essential role, volunteering, creating communication networks, and maintaining morale. Humanity had become a species capable of facing the unknown with courage and creativity. Children grew up hearing stories of bravery, innovation, and unity. Learning that survival depended on both courage and intelligence, schools emphasized problem-solving, teamwork, and resilience, while families shared tales of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. These stories inspired a generation ready to defend their planet. The world had changed, not only in its defenses, but in the spirit and mindset of its people. Humanity had discovered a strength that could not be measured by weapons alone. The alien retreat left a lasting impression on the universe. Word spread through whatever channels the invaders had, about a species that refused to be intimidated, a species that could learn quickly, adapt, and fight together as one. Earth had proven that it could survive against superior forces, and in doing so, had sent a message to any other potential threats in the galaxy. Humanity was not passive or weak, but intelligent, resourceful, and united, ready to defend its home at any cost. Communities celebrated not just survival, but the demonstration of human ingenuity and courage. Streets were filled with laughter, music, and gratitude. People reflected on the unity that had emerged from fear and adversity. Ordinary citizens understood that their contributions mattered. From building defenses to supporting families and neighbors, every effort had been part of a larger plan, and every person had played a role in proving humanity's true power. The world's leaders, scientists, and strategists held meetings to ensure that Earth would never be unprepared again. Research programs expanded, international collaboration strengthened, and communication networks upgraded. The planet was ready to respond to any future threats. But beyond technology, humanity understood that its strength came from unity, creativity, and the determination to survive. These qualities could not be destroyed by any alien weapon. And they were now embedded in the global culture. Even as peace returned, vigilance remained. Citizens kept watch, monitored skies, and participated in training and preparation. Humanity had learned that freedom and survival required constant effort and attention. The alien presence, though distant, reminded humans that the universe was vast and dangerous. But it also reinforced a new confidence. Earth had survived, adapted, and proven itself. Humans had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, smarter, and more united than ever. Artists, writers, and media celebrated the courage and ingenuity displayed during the conflict. Stories of heroism spread worldwide, reminding people that even ordinary actions could have extraordinary impact. Music, films, and literature reflected the resilience and unity of humanity, inspiring generations to come. The planet's culture was enriched by both survival and triumph. Humanity had discovered that its greatest power was not just in technology or weapons, but in its mind, spirit, and unity. By the end of the recovery, humanity had transformed. People understood the value of cooperation, the importance of courage, and the necessity of innovation. Governments, scientists, and citizens worked together seamlessly, preparing not just to survive, but to thrive. Humanity had sent a clear message to the universe. Peace was desired. But if provoked, Earth would unleash its full strength. The aliens had learned to respect humans, and other species observing the events would also take notice. Humanity had not only survived the alien threat, but had proven itself capable of greatness. The world had become stronger, more united, and prepared for the challenges of the future. Every human felt pride and responsibility, knowing that their species had endured, adapted, and emerged victorious. Earth had shown that while it valued peace, it would defend itself with intelligence, courage, and unwavering determination. Humanity had revealed its true power, and the universe had finally witnessed it.